Arcane didn't just change animation, it rewrote storytelling, but one moment turned it into a masterpiece. In this video, I will be talking about the moment that defined Arcane as a masterpiece, a turning point where story, emotion, and animation reached new heights. This moment captures the emotional stakes that drives the series, bonds torn apart, ambitions realized, and identities reshaped. It's a collision of character arcs, Jinx, Vi, Caitlyn, and Viktor all wrestling with loyalty, loss, and the cost of progress. Let's break down how this one moment brought it all together. Season 1 sets the tone with one tragic spiral, Jinx's descent into madness, her separation from Vi. It all built up to one breaking point. The council explosion didn't just destroy the room, it destroyed any hope of peace between Piltover and Zaun, sending both cities hurtling towards chaos. Now, Season 2 picks up in the aftermath. Caitlyn, grieving her mother's loss, rises as a determined leader ready to bring justice no matter the cost. Vi, though, she's stuck in the middle, torn between her loyalty to Caitlyn and her connection to Jinx. Every decision weighs heavier than the last. Meanwhile, Viktor's obsession with the Hex core takes a dark turn. What started as a search for progress turns into a desperate attempt to find meaning. And then there's Warwick, a living, breathing nightmare of Vander's past. His presence reminds us of just how deeply the scars of Zaun and Piltover run. Season 2 sets the stage for a clash of ideals, loyalty, and power. It's where all the grief, ambition, and broken bonds start to collide, and where the story begins to truly unravel. This is where Arcane truly cemented itself as a masterpiece. The Vi, Jinx, Warwick confrontation at Viktor's commune wasn't just another action scene, it was the emotional and thematic heart of the series. Everything, character arcs, relationships, and the show's larger themes collided in a way that was almost impossible to look away from. Vi came into that confrontation with so much unresolved pain. She carried the weight of losing Vander, the betrayal she felt when Jinx turned into someone she didn't recognize, and this desperate hope that maybe, just maybe, something could still be saved. And Jinx, she was this chaotic storm of emotions, anger, guilt, love. It was all tangled up inside her. The thing is, she wasn't wrong. Warwick was Vander, but he wasn't all the same. That tension, that complexity, made the stakes feel so real. Now, let's talk about the setup here, because it's really important. The commune itself was this eerie, broken place, symbolizing both Viktor's ambition and how far it had fallen. You could really feel the despair hanging in the air, and it mirrored the characters perfectly. Everything in that moment felt like it was barely holding together. Vi's trust in Jinx, Jinx's fragile grip on reality, and even Warwick's identity. That kind of atmosphere pulls you in and doesn't let go. And then there's the scene itself. Vi and Jinx weren't just fighting each other, they were fighting everything they had lost. When Jinx said, "He's not just a monster, he's Vander," you felt her desperation. You saw that she was begging Vi to see the same thing she did. And when Warwick's voice cracked through all of the growling and called Jinx powder, it broke something in both of them, and in us. That was the show's genius. And it didn't just give us action, it gave us raw, unfiltered emotion. The choreography of the fights elevated all of this. Every punch, every dodge, every scream felt personal. It wasn't just about winning or losing, it was about years of pain and love erupting all at once. The way the camera lingered on Jinx's hesitation, or Vi's realization that Warwick might still have a piece of Vander inside him, was masterful. You weren't just watching a fight, you were watching these characters' souls being laid bare. And then there was the music. Arcane's soundtrack is already iconic, but in this scene, it went to another level. The way the score built as tensions rose, it was subtle but powerful. When the emotional beats hit, like Vander breaking through for a brief moment, it was like the music was pulling you along with the characters, making you feel everything that they were feeling. And then, when the dust settled, it just just stopped. That silence hit harder than anything. But it wasn't just about the fight. This moment tied into so many of the show's deeper themes: loyalty, transformation, loss. It asked big questions. What happens when the people you love change into something you can barely recognize? Is it possible to hold on to hope in the face of all of that? These are heavy, universal ideas, and Arcane tackled them without ever feeling preachy or forced. It just let the characters and their choices speak for themselves. And that's why this moment works. It's not just about the action or the visuals, though those are incredible. It's about the way everything came together. The characters' emotions, the setting, the music, it all built to a crescendo that you can't look away from. And when it was over, it left you thinking about these characters, about the story, about what it all meant. This scene wasn't just a highlight, it was the beating heart of Arcane. It's the moment everything clicked, the moment where you realized the show wasn't just good, it was unforgettable. This is what makes Arcane great. It doesn't just tell a story, it makes you feel it. And so this moment didn't just change the story, it changed everyone in it. For Vi and Jinx, it wasn't just another fight, it broke something between them. Maybe for good, but at the same time, it showed that there was still something there. Love, regrets, and all the pain that comes with it. And Jace? He's left carrying the weight of it all. The choices he made, what he thought was right, only led to more destruction. Now, he's questioning everything, what progress really means, what it's worth, and who ends up paying for it. And Caitlyn, she's not the same either. She's hardened, less idealistic, maybe, but there's this lingering doubt. After losing so much, she's trying to figure out what justice even looks like now, and if it's enough. This was the moment where everything started unraveling and transforming. Vi and Jinx changed forever. Jace and Caitlyn left to face their own demons. And season 2, it takes all of that fallout and pushes it further, diving deeper into the chaos they created. Again, this wasn't just a big moment for the story. It's the reason Arcane feels so real. The choices, the consequences, they all matter, and no one walks away the same. In Arcane, transformation isn't a choice, it's a cost. So without trying to sound like a broken record here, Arcane is more than just a show. It's a symphony of arts, narrative, and emotion. This moment we've dissected, whether it's Vi, Jinx, Warwick, or Viktor, showcases that the true geniuses of Arcane, the merging of character arcs that feel deeply personal yet universally resonant. Every choice, every conflict ties back to the central themes of loyalty, identity, and transformation. And it's not just about the story, it's about how the story is told. The animation pushes boundaries, with every frame dripping with detail and care, from the graffiti in Zaun's alleys to the shimmering glow of Hextech. But what really sets Arcane apart is its social commentary. It doesn't shy away from exploiting class, grief, and power dynamics, making the world feel as alive as its characters. This moment in particular bridges seasons 1 and 2 flawlessly. It not only ties together arcs that began in Piltover and Zaun, but it also sets the stage for what's to come, showing us the cost of progress and the unbreakable bonds, or fractures, that define these characters. This is the moment Arcane became a masterpiece, solidifying its place as a revolutionary force in storytelling. So, Arcane's magic lies in its ability to weave tragedy and triumph into every frame. And this moment, it's where it all came together, where the animation, the music, the storytelling, and the characters align to create something unforgettable. And I think that ties everything together. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to smash that subscribe button. Listen, I am getting super close to 1,000 subscribers, so if we could hit that milestone, that would be so awesome. I really hope you all enjoyed this video, and for more content like this, make sure to stay tuned. I hope you all have an amazing rest of your day, and as always, stay curious.